Welcome to the Government News Brief for Monday, February 1, 2016. In the news, vulnerable groups to benefit from budget measures, Fort Island residents' health concerns to be addressed, and Telecom's bill on the front burner. With these and other stories, I am Azim Khan. Thanks for staying with us. This is the Government News Brief. Several initiatives aimed at enhancing the lives of vulnerable groups in society were included in the 2016 national budget. Senika Thorne tells us how.
I think it's the best budget that we can have under the circumstances. The one which I will take away from here is when I heard the minister said that despite public servants will be a little dismayed that he has not announced an increase for them. And the reason he posited is because he's dialoguing with the unions. That made me felt so good to know that here it is. We have a government in our country who respect the unions, respect the representatives of the workers, and will sit with them and negotiate.
The disadvantaged group in society will benefit from a number of programs that will be rolled out in 2016. Among those initiatives are creation of strong and stable families and programs to ensure children in institutional care are placed in homes. Additionally, over 50,000 pensioners will benefit from an increase from $17,000 to $18,200, while public assistance will move from $6,500 to $7,300. This will benefit 9,600 people.
I wanted more, and he tried to see whether he can give me more, but that's going to come. We said $20,000, and we're getting there. We're almost there. We're going to get there. And all the other things, when we put them together, it forms a package. And I think when you look at it overall, you look at what he has done in terms of the excise tax and the new tires, talking about safety. Safety not only for me, but safety also for our young people, our old people, our husbands and wives and so on. And then he spoke about the taxes on the reconditioned vehicles. Gives people hope that I can work and I can save towards owning my own vehicle. Oh, I'm going home happy. I'm going home happy. And I say to you, the public, don't worry with those who didn't give you anything. Think very carefully and read the budget in depth.
Meanwhile, government is facilitating the process of collective bargaining as it is engaged in discussions with the unions aimed at salary increases for public servants.
Public health concerns of Fort Island residents were addressed on Sunday by Minister of Public Health Dr. George Norton. More in this report.
A number of issues were raised by the residents when the Health Minister Norton met with them. The main concern was the management of the island's health facility, even as residents claimed that over the years they were victimized when they aired their concerns.
We are here for all of you, and you have a right to complain, and you have a right to work for the benefit of the island, so that we can develop Fort Island and make Fort Island a place where people will, not only foreigners, but everybody would come here, and you will get a better standard of living.
Regional Executive Officer of Region 3, Dennis Jaikaran, noted that all efforts will be made to address every issue raised at the meeting.
In another couple of days, I would return with a team that is going to focus on all the areas you would have raised in an effort to sit down with you and see how we can strategize in the different ways to develop Fort Island.
The issue of substance abuse was also raised. Minister Norton explained that this is a major issue and he hopes that it is something that every community is able to stamp out. In addition, the minister noted that it is the government's aim to provide a better life for all citizens in every area, including health and education.
Leader of Government Business in the National Assembly and Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu has added his voice to those commending the government on its $230 billion national budget. Here are the details.
The Prime Minister is of the view that Finance Minister Winston Jordan should be commended for presenting his second budget within a 5-month period. The 2016 national budget paves the way for the implementation of government's promises of a good life to all Guyanese.
We have to, at this point, stay steadfast to those promises we made to the Guyanese people. And I think all sections of the Guyanese people, having heard Minister Jordan's presentation, would conclude that there is something for all in the budget.
The 2016 budget follows pattern of the 2015 budget, where there are tangible benefits for the ordinary Guyanese. The Prime Minister committed to ensuring that everyone benefits.
We are keeping as far as we can to the promises made in the elections manifesto. That is, we want to bring change to the society. We want to bring the good life and the green life, the clean life to our society. And I think these are still lofty goals. These are visionary targets to achieve. But a start is being made now. And I believe that incrementally we are going to be taking one of the proposal or promise after another, and until we are able to have momentum develop for the transformation of Guyana.
Budget 2016 is anchored on 5 pillars: national unity, national infrastructure, national institutions, national security, and public services. The government's 2016 national budget was presented under the theme Stimulating Growth, Restoring Confidence, The Good Life Beckons.
The telecommunications bill is on the front burner of government parliamentary agenda to be addressed in 2016. It is aimed at breaking the monopoly in the telecommunications sector. Shanaza Lowe tells us more.
Various sectors are affected by the monopoly held by the Guyana Telephone and Telegraph Company, GTT, hence the move to prioritize the change.
Telecommunications legislation has been sitting idle for many years now. And we realize that a lot of the things that we want to do depends on freeing up that sector, ensuring that we don't have a monopoly anymore.
Stakeholder meetings with GTT and Digicel with the Minister of Telecommunication and Tourism, Catherine Hughes, have been held with the view of moving the sector forward.
I am in the process for the new ministry of getting on board some experts in specific areas so that we can actually look at the legislation, see if everybody is happy with it. We want to analyze what areas we might have missed, what we might need to relook at.
The coalition government is committed to having adequate consultations to decide on the telecommunication bill, which will then go through Parliament for finalization.
Governance and judicial institutions will continue to be strengthened through 2016 budgetary allocation. Here is Glendon Greenwich with more.
All rights and state commissions will collaborate to ensure that obligations under international human rights treaties and conventions are adhered to.
During this year, the Governor's Office will coordinate and fast-track the process for establishing the Public Procurement Commission and will be proactive in enacting a code of conduct for ministers of government and parliamentarians. Simultaneously, the office will coordinate implementation of recommendations by the Steering Committee on Constitutional Reform. The government has made provision for establishment of a broad-based Constitutional Reform Commission and expects this commission to begin work during this year.
$1 billion over the medium term has been proposed in the 2016 budget for the strengthening of the justice sector.
Several interventions will combine to ensure a procedural justice system that is fair and accessible to all Guyanese. Investors' and citizens' trust in a nation is hinged on the ability of the government to guarantee good enforcement of rights. Sound and fair laws, coupled with an effective court system, promotes a peaceful society and a thriving business atmosphere in which investor security is assured. National courts must provide effective judicial protection to all, irrespective of race, creed, gender, societal status, religious persuasion, or political affiliation. The government has been paying increasing attention to reforms intended to improve law and justice institutions.
The National Assembly's approval of the estimates of constitutional agencies is testimony of the commitment to govern based on the rule of law.
We have come to the end of the government news brief on Monday, February 1, 2016. The government news brief, along with all other GINA programs, can be found on our website. We are also on Facebook and YouTube. This is our photograph of the day taken by one of our cameramen. On behalf of all of us here at GINA, thank you for watching.